Brought to you by Aman Auctions, the worldwide leader in antique tractor auctions.
Check this out. That's Jon Kinzenbaw disking a field in a hurry on his high-powered 1970 John Deere 4520. Jon's been working his magic on tractors since he was a kid. No doubt this guy's farm roots run deep.
I was basically born and raised on a small farm. We had Farm All H that my dad bought new, and then my uncles had M's, and we had M's and MTAs and 560s and more H's, and we used those to pick corn and to chop hay.
Jon still has the 1946 Farm All H his dad bought new, and back in 1965, he took his love for working on farm machinery and opened a welding business that grew to become the world-famous Kinze manufacturing company.
We built the first folding planters, and that's what really caught on at that point in time, and we've been building planters ever since. And today, planters are about 90% of what we do, and wagons are about 10% of what we do. Oh, I'm always partial to blue because that was my mother's favorite color, and I started painting things blue as early as 1970. First wagon was blue, the anhydrous bars became blue, our planters now are blue. We still build the blue wagons, and most people associate blue with the Kinze quality.
Kinze quality is known the world over today, but back when this 4520 was new, Jon was maybe best known for giving tractors like these a big power boost.
The repower business that we started in 1968 is what put us on the map. We built those engines in those tractors to the tune of about 300 of them all over the United States, far out as New York, Texas. I put a couple of them in California, and it really put us on the map because people brought those tractors in, a lot of times brand new tractors. We took out 120 to 140 horsepower engine and put in 238 to 318 horsepower back in it, and we built quite a customer base. It starts with the repower right here when we basically split it apart, put an adapter plate in to connect the John Deere clutch housing to the Detroit diesel number 1 housing on this particular model, and that bolt patterns with the dowel pins matched it up to the drive line. Then there is a disc on the Detroit flywheel that is from the John Deere clutch pack that just has to spin the transmission shaft on a power shift. It was a lot simpler than the clutch that we had to put in the 5020s.
The 4520 easily pulls a huge folding 30-foot Kinze disc Jon built back in 1972. The tractor also happens to be the one that was repowered for John Deere and tested near Coal Valley, Illinois.
Well, this tractor belonged to John Deere when it was brand new. They brought it to me to have it repowered so they could do testing. It's my understanding they used it to test power takeoff equipment, choppers and that kind of thing, as well as traction and rollover plows, as I recall. And we put the 318 Detroit in it, which we were doing a lot of those at that time from about 1968 through about 1974. Basically, this tractor, a 4520, is exactly the way it was when it was new in terms of width and length, and from the dowel housing back, it's stock and standard, and the wide front end and below, and the front end, the fuel tank is all standard radiator.
No doubt this green machine is the definition of more power, with a beefy Detroit 8-cylinder engine that helps make the 4520 a speedy workhorse.
This engine in this tractor developed approximately 125 to 135 horsepower, and when we got done with it, we took it to 235 on the V6. In this case, over 320 or 318 horse on the 318 V8, and so it really wakes it up, and it'll walk out there in fifth gear, pull anything that was ever intended to be pulled by the tractor, but it'll just pull it much faster. Instead of third gear and fourth gear, this will run fifth gear and sometimes sixth gear and doing the same work. The idea is not to overload the rear end, but it's to do it faster, which doesn't chew it up. It will take it in sixth gear, but it's too fast for the disc, and it's just easier on everything to stay in 5th gear. It'll go basically uphill, downhill, and not change much in speed.
Good as the 4520 looks, it's far from the only tractor in Jon's ever-expanding collection, and amid all the green and red, he does have a rare one-of-a-kind Big Blue.
The one that I'm standing near right here is one that I built in 1974. It's built out of 2 John Deere 5020 transmission axle assemblies, and it has 2 318 Detroit engines, so we rate it a little over 600 horsepower. If you were to look closely, you would see a 318 engine here in the front end on this axle, and then if you looked under the cab, you would see an identical engine underneath the cab. The thing was completely hand-built. I spent about a year and a half in my spare time building it. Had some my help working with me on it, but it was strictly done as a hobby to promote the 12-bottom DMI plow that we also built at the same time frame.
A tractor he built himself, a John Deere he dropped a new engine in to boost power. No wonder this Iowa farm kid grew up to become a legend in the American farm machinery world.